Hi, YouTubies! It's me, Zachary Michael. Also, hello, hi, we're back. Happy Pride! Happy Pride from me and Sarasota Tim. You see those flowers on the counter behind him? He got himself those flowers for Pride. He told me. He said, and this RV, we celebrate Pride. And this RV, all are welcome. Y'all didn't know that Sarasota Tim is an ally? I'm honestly, he's probably not, but he'd probably be offended that somebody thought he was. So that's why we're gonna start that rumor. We're gonna start the rumor that he's an ally and see if he gets mad about it. You know? You feel me? Robert Wiener, thanks for the on-screen celebration for Pride. Although that doesn't show up for the YouTubies, but it did just show up for all of you here on Twitch. Anyways, yeah, we're here today to watch Sarasota Tim. How old is this video, by the way? 1 day ago! June 14th. Well, 2 days ago. June 14th. The government's new UFO files, parentheses, and why this young couple sold everything, end parentheses. Can you believe? UFOs! They're transing the aliens! They're transing the aliens. I should drain the tub for this. Are you in the bathtub right now? It's giving rapture vibes. Yeah, I do know that, like, didn't allegedly Donald Trump or somebody say something about aliens? I feel like the aliens thing is just a, like, LOL, heck yes, CM all the time. Listen, live your truth, diva. Thank you so much to 62-year-old CPA for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate it. I heard that Sarasota Tim is also an abortion clinic escort who shouts back at the anti-choice protesters. Beep boop bet, thanks so much for sharing that intel, sister. Appreciate that. The UFO community is surprisingly conservative. Well, here's my hot take about aliens. I do think they're real. And it's why I have a friend that really wanted me to go see Disclosure Day with them. And I said, I'm so sorry, Diva. I cannot. There's zero parts of me that can go watch an alien movie. I used to have nightmares about aliens growing up as a kid. Because for a long time, I literally lived in the middle of cornfields. I like not even just like, I know I'm from like a small rural town. But before my family moved into actual town, into like the actual city limits of the town I grew up in, we lived in the middle of a like cornfield. We rented a house that was like on somebody's farm. And that's where we lived. My parents were not farmers or anything like that, but we did live in the middle. It was crazy. And I had dreams about aliens. I had dreams about aliens putting crop circles in the farm, the fields around me. It just freaked me out, and I don't love alien movies. Well, I've watched like a Star Wars, and by a Star Wars I mean all of them. Well, I didn't go see The Mandalorian and Grogu. I will say that my Star Wars era is behind me now. That's the power of a breakup, divas. But Star Wars is about it for me, baby. Well, I've watched Dune as well. I'll probably watch future Dune movies. But are there really? I guess there's aliens in that. I'm not trying to do any of it. But anyways, Tim's got some thoughts about aliens, I guess. I guess we'll talk. We'll listen to his hot takes about aliens and why. And also, I don't know what the parenthetical part of this title has to do with anything. Why this young couple sold everything? Are you trying to tell me that a young couple sold a bunch of stuff because of the government's UFO files? The gay porn parody of Dune is not the actual movie, Diva. I've not ever watched that, but I have in fact watched both Dune movies that exist. So, long ass fucking movies. I was there for Zendaya. Well, I was actually there because, again, those are the kind of movies my ex was really into. So that's probably actually the real reason I was there. But at this point, I've sat through 2, so I may as well watch more. Anyways, if y'all are ready, I really just be saying what the fuck ever, huh? If y'all are ready, can you put 69s in the chat? I would really appreciate that. Whose flowers? Dave, we already addressed that. Those are the flowers he got himself for Pride. And Sarasota's Tim's RV, they celebrate Pride. And everybody, it's a safe space. It's a safe space. Right. Yeah, so you get it. You get it. Me when I lie. I don't know. I just... me when I lie. Also, I can't remember if I said this before or after I started recording, so in case I didn't, he is on 1.5 speed. Alright, so if you're watching at home and not on the Twitch stream, we did speed him up. So if he sounds crazy... Well, that's probably not why he sounds crazy. He probably just sounds crazy because of whatever bullshit's coming out of his mouth today. That button down is giving butch. It's giving old man is all it's giving. It's giving old man who went on Social Security at 62. All right. Hell yeah, we're crushing it today. Let's get. What would you do if he sued you? Well, first of all, he's already having legal troubles with Life and Vibe, which I had been keeping up with her channel about that, and then I just forgot to keep checking. So I am curious about where that's going. But anyways, okay, let's go.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim.
Hey.
Tired, wore out, overheated, just been sitting in my chair all day. One thing I gotta say though, my air conditioner's working really good. I have it just cornered off to my front living area here.
Then why are you tired and worn out if all you've been sitting in is your chair all day in the air conditioning? Please be so fucking serious.
And I keep pushing it up. It's like at 80 and it feels cold in here. That's because it's like 200 outside. Let's push it up some more. See? I got it on like 80. There you go. Turn off. So it's only 6:37. I think I'm gonna go to the driving range and hit some balls. I've been watching a ton of...
Ooh, you're speaking my language. Hitting balls. Happy Pride indeed.
golf YouTube tutorials, and I found this guy. He's got it figured out. It's fun. What's funny about golf is everything that feels right is wrong. And no matter what you do, no matter what clubs you buy, no matter what balls you buy, no matter what you read or hear, you're still not gonna be able to hit that golf ball. 99% of the people can't hit it. And when you watch these guys on TV, you got to really, tip your hat, because those guys that can go out there and shoot in the 60s every day, 4 days in a row to win and shoot 10, 20 under par, if you know anything about golf, that is a talent. And they can hit that ball over 300 yards. I mean, it looks simple. It's very frustrating.
Tip my hat to you. I'm going to tip my hat to you, my guy.
But I'm going to go and try some of these things that I think might work. I'm sure they won't, but I'll try.
They
Not
won't.
to be negative. But
they won't, because you're a loser.
I've tried it before. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me.
Oh my God.
I'm sure I got the 2 fans on down there.
Wait, Tim and I are kind of twins because in the video I recorded for the main YouTube channel today, I had a moment where I was like, I gotta sneeze. I gotta sneeze. I gotta sneeze. Except I didn't actually sneeze. So I guess we're not twins. Is he normally mic'd? Girl, I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I gotta edit that out. Oh, come on.
I gotta edit that out. Then why didn't you? Diva? Then why didn't you? Listen, I didn't pretend like I was gonna edit it out. It's in there. It's in there for me. But I didn't actually sneeze.
Baker, trying to get to the video. So this morning, on the way to church.
Oh, is he gonna blow his nose?
I was gonna make a video.
Now, sir, see, and then this is where you really lose me. Y'all remember how Lisa used to blow her nose on camera all the time? I'm like, Lisa, Auntie Lisa, why are we doing that?
About something that's I found very interesting.
Bro.
I have to look at my notes to refresh myself. But I'll just try to wing it. What the heck? Now that we got the hay fever out of the way. So if you might have watched my morning video sitting in the parking lot at the church this morning, I was talking about how people in the Bible days, you know, what life must have been like for them. I mean, all they did was grow food, if they could, walk around. There was no bicycles, no cars. They certainly didn't have any internet. And, you know, procreated, studied spirituality. I mean, they were very close with God. This is, you know, back in those days. And that's all they did. That's all they did. So you say, yeah, we get it. What's the point? Before, you know.
All they did was procreate. That's all they had to do. That's all they could possibly do back in them days. They just all sucked and fucked and grew food. That's all they did. When your cursed message gets buried, what did you say, Woma? What did you say? Can we start saying I'ma circumcise that part instead of I'ma edit that out to change things up? Woma, that's kind of weirdly for you. I don't... Listen, that's par for the course for this chat, but I'm kind of surprised. Not like in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
For the beginning of time, that's what people did. Well, you know, I like to make a lot of videos talking about when I grew up in the 70s, and I know a lot of people that watch me grew up in that same era.
Right, same. I definitely grew up in that era.
When I started thinking about what we did, like, basically what I'm trying to get to is this. Today, there's a lot of noise. We have to have the noise. We're brainwashed into the noise. Take, for example, and I know we're all guilty of it, most of us. So don't tell me I'm not, I don't do that.
Brainwashed into the noise. What noise do you think I've been brainwashed into, Tim? Tell me. Also, just thinking about the noise, literally anytime Tim opens his mouth, that's like noise that I don't necessarily have to listen to, but I'm here listening to. So maybe he's right. Maybe I am being brainwashed by the noise. The noise coming out of his fucking mouth.
Most people do. You're in line at Walmart or wherever. You got to look at your phone. You're in a doctor's office. You're waiting. You got to look at your phone. You're at a red light. 30 seconds is going to go by. You can't take it. You got to see who, notifications, scroll, read the latest, Tic Tacs, whatever. And
did he say, he said, read the latest Tic Tacs?
Waiting. You got to look at your phone. You're at a red light. 30 seconds is going to go by. You can't take it. You got to see who, notifications, scroll, read the latest Tic Tacs, whatever.
Read the latest Tic Tacs. Exactly. You know, as somebody who does sometimes refer to the TikTok as the Tic Tac, I relate. He's speaking to me.
And the morning you wake up, you got to check the news. Anytime there's any silence or sort of a moment of, you can't deal with it. You just can't deal with it. And you remember in the 70s, at night, at midnight, and the TV went off, it just went static. It was basically saying, that's enough for the day, go to bed. If you got bored and you didn't have anything to do, you either went outside and sat on the porch and listened to the sounds, the birds, the guy mowing his grass down the street, or you went out in the garage and piddled around with something or whatever. When you drove your car, you just drove.
You know, in the olden days, we didn't have these iPad kids. We just went out and listened to the sounds of nature. This man is on his phone constantly. You know how often this man fucking uploads a day? A day? Just today, just in the past 24 hours, he's already posted 3 times. It's usually 3 to 4 times a day. One day ago, he posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out here talking about the noise. I mean, to be fair, I do think he's including himself in this. Like he said, like myself included. But I'm just like, okay, so what's your point? Also, I think it's always fair, you know, to talk about like where we came from and where we're at now. And sometimes I think there are valuable things that we can learn from the past and like stuff like that. But also there's so many good things about all of the things that he's talking about now being in our lives. Like I think he's romanticizing this idea that technology wasn't there to like keep you from just enjoying the little things around you, the sounds of nature, the guy mowing his grass down the way. But like, also just to be clear, without technology, like there's so many things that we wouldn't have, like like there's so many, we are also in such a better place because we have these things. We are a more advanced civilization that ideally should be able to like take care of ourselves in better ways and things like that. You know, if we didn't have all of this, he wouldn't have been able to quit his prison job and do YouTube for his hustle or whatever. You know? Even with technology, you have the choice to go outside. Well, that's also true. It's like, it hasn't removed the option from you being able to go outside and listen to the sounds of nature. The reality is you just don't have the willpower to turn away from your phone. I also reject the notion that everybody's like entranced by their phones. I can't speak to that for myself because I do spend a lot of time on my phone, but I'm just saying. I would never have been able to comprehend the phrase beef piss flaps if it weren't for technology, and that's beautiful. For real. No, that's real. Thank you so much for saying that, cause that's deep.
Or listen to the radio. When you come to the red light, you just thought your thoughts. Think about that. Remember how we used to be? And think about the contrast today and for the last long time. How any moment, you're in a doctor's office. We used to go to the doctor's office growing up. They had some magazines, National Geographic, whatever they were. You pick it up, you thumb through it real slow, look at the pictures, maybe read an article. And
they still do.
You know, that's how you spend your time. But if you go to a line today in a grocery store, Walmart, or anywhere, everyone's looking down at a glowing glass screen. No one is talking to each other. No one's looking each other in the eye. Back in the 70s, you know, you'd go through the line.
That also might just be your experience. Also, I don't want to talk to strangers at the grocery store. If I run into somebody I know at the grocery store, I'm gonna stop and say hi to them. I'll talk to them. I fucking live in a city with lots of strangers. I'm sorry that I'm not just trying to talk to whoever. Actually, you know what the gag is a couple times in recent history that I've gone home and visited my mom, I've gone to the local grocery store with her, and inevitably we always end up running into somebody that I knew once upon a time and talking to them because they're like, "Oh my gosh, Zach, it's so good to see you." How's life in Chicago? In fact, actually, the last time I remember, y'all remember the friend of mine?
Love my cream of wheat.
Well, Tim, some of us still find time to gawk even with technology. It's the little things. Or the big things in some cases.
Hot Cheeto, thanks so much for the 100 bits. I ran into the mom of my friend from high school who had the Malibu in her trunk. Y'all remember that story? She told us she couldn't come go out with us because she had Malibu in her trunk, and we were like, well, take the Malibu out of your trunk, girl. Anyways, I ran into her mom one of the last times I was at the grocery store with my mom. She's so sweet. Her mom is so sweet. Well, I don't know. I assume she's sweet too. I haven't talked to her in years.
Maybe you would spark up a short conversation with the person behind you or the cashier. Nobody thought anything about it.
I have polite conversation with the cashiers as well. Anytime I'm in any store, I'm not having like a long drawn out conversation, but I say hi. If they ask me how I'm doing, I respond to them because that's just polite. What do you mean?
You looked around, you noticed what was happening. You look around today. They're all got their heads down. Everywhere you go.
They
even
all
behind the wheel of a
do.
car. At a red light.
So, some of this is like based in reality, and some of this feels like fucking boomer talk, to be honest. Some of this is like, yeah, there's probably some level of conversation about people being in their phones and things like that. And also, like, to what point also does it matter to you if I'm at the grocery store looking at my phone instead of talking to you? Because also, mind you, this is the man that goes through McDonald's drive-thrus, pays for the order behind him, and then gets mad when the people behind him doesn't say thank you. Like, I think this man is just mad that people aren't talking to him.
That's the fastest way to get a red light to turn green, by the way. Because if you want to look at your phone, own it. Gotta go.
You shouldn't be looking at your phone while you're driving, period, diva.
No, don't try it. But that was really kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's like the noise that's in our heads that we don't have time to just think for things, about things. You know, like I said earlier, you go out on your front porch and just look at the rain, look at the sky. You just sit there. You didn't have a phone, a tablet. You would just notice the sounds, observe things, and that was fine. You know, it was just so much more of, it was just healthier. Our brains were, you know, more active. And the technology we've got today isn't anything compared to probably what is coming. And then the reason I was thinking about, like I said, I was listening to the book of John, and I was thinking, boy, those people, they were running, the story was they were running to tell somebody about...
Not the book of John. I forgot that this somehow all came back to the Bible. My bad, y'all. My bad.
John the Baptist was baptizing people in the water, and then somebody came and told John that Jesus was baptizing people, and he's like, well, you know, I baptize with water. He's somebody I'm not even unworthy to untie his sandals. And anyway, I was just listening to the story, and I thought, man, all these people did was just spiritual things. Walk around, talk to each other, raise families, teach their kids about stuff. That's another thing. Growing up, during mealtime, at dinner, people used to show up, and there was no phones. When the phone rang, when phones had cords on them, a 24.
Also, just so you people listen, here's really the issue. Here's really the issue with him complaining. First of all, he wants to talk about eating family dinners, whatever, whoever. Half the rumors and the Sarasota Tim corner of the internet is that he's a deadbeat father. So tell me more about that. Tell me more about having dinner with your family. But second of all, the thing that's so annoying about this is all of these things are still possible. If this is what he wants, he can still do this. You can still sit down and have dinner without people looking at their phones. Like, it's 100% an option. When I go to dinner with my friends, when I go out to dinner with my friends, I don't pull my phone out because I know that I'm intentionally making the choice to go to dinner because I want to talk to my friends and catch up with them and speak with them. You don't want people to be on their phones? Tell them to put their phones away and eat family dinner with you.
Curly cord. If the phone rang and you were having dinner, you didn't even answer it. It wasn't important. They can call back. Now, everybody sits at the table with an iPhone or an Android
Not
as it's a
everybody.
guest member.
See, and then this is what's annoying to me. It's because, like, I don't participate in meals like that. I will say, like, if I'm alone, then, and I'm eating a meal, then I'm going to have, like, a YouTube video or a TV show or something pulled up. I actually just talked about that in my video that I'm posting for the main channel today as well. But what I'm here to say, what I'm here to tell you is that if I am ever having a meal with anybody, whether that's in my own home, whether that's out to eat somewhere, or whether I'm like a guest at somebody else's home for dinner, I'm not looking at my phone because I want to be there with people. So if you're having this problem, Tim, if this is the issue that is plaguing you with technology, you can easily put the phone away. You can set these boundaries. You can do this. You're complaining about something that isn't a problem if you just put the phone away.
Sitting right next to their plate. And when people are having a conversation, oh, hold on, I got this notification here. Yeah, okay, I'm listening, go ahead. Think about that.
Love my cream, my wheat.
You and Poe don't eat meals at the table together? The Zach 11 Poe, the Zach 11, hey guys.
Jamie, no. No, we don't. No, we don't. Actually, usually what happens is I try to give Poe dinner before I eat dinner, and he never wants to eat it then, and then I start eating dinner, and he decides, oh, it's time. I would like my food now, please. So then I have to get back up, get his bowl out, and give him dinner. So we do, I guess maybe in that sense, eat together, but not at a table.
Terrible, man. And it's not going to change. You can't unwind this.
Yes,
this
you
is not
can.
Gonna like, hey, people talk about, well, leave your phone at home for an hour or for the day. Well, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, people do it all the time. People do it all the time. It's like people leave their phone. He's really making it out to be a problem that isn't real. Literally just do it. Literally just do it.
You missed something. And I had more to talk about it, but it's just like, if you think about it, it's really amazing, isn't it?
I'm sick of this,
How
man.
we dealt with time without any worry. We weren't like, oh gosh, there's 30 seconds, I gotta wait here. Give me something. We just sat. We walked. We drove. So, anyway, that's just kind of it. I had more I wanted to say. I got it in my mind, but now I want to move on to something else.
Oh, thank God.
And it's got to do with living your life now. I met a couple.
Are we? At what point do we start talking about UFOs? We are a third of the way through this video.
They're in their 30s, early 30s, and they're married and they have a home and they're going to sell it and they're going to travel Asia. They're going to Thailand, Japan, Philippines, all over that place down there. They've already
all over that place down there. Is that not just like a weirdly way to refer to the huge continent of Asia? All over that place down there. As if Asia isn't like the biggest the biggest continent.
I think to Japan and went to 4 of the islands or stayed there for 4 weeks or something.
He doesn't know what
they
the fuck
are
he's talking
selling their
about.
house, selling everything out. They're going to become minimalist and have a small place that one of the relatives owns somewhere else in the state of Florida and kind of call that their home base. They're selling one vehicle, keeping his truck. They're going to put everything they own in 4 or 5 totes, and they're going to enjoy life.
And why is this any of my business?
Around the world and get certified scuba diving, and they want to dive all of these different places around the world. They want to incorporate that. Plus food is a big deal in their life. She is a nutritionist, actually, and so she likes the food in Japan. He told me a story when he went to Japan that people, like when they're waiting for a bus or a train, everyone is in line, everyone's orderly, nobody's cutting up, and it's just like, it moves. Everyone is so together there. And when you go and experience, maybe some of you have traveled and know what I'm talking about. I've never been anywhere, but it got me thinking.
Right, so why are you talking about this? Go do something exciting yourself. You're sitting out here complaining about people being glued to their phones. It's like so annoying. You uncultured swine.
That, and I talked about going to the Philippines and stuff. I might do that now. Instead of traveling around with a camper,
Don't
going back
go
and
to
forth
the Philippines.
to Moab or
Don't do
Laughlin,
that.
like I've done a million times.
Don't do that to the good people of the Philippines. Leave those people alone.
Maybe what these 30-year-olds are doing now, and they were using my line, saying, nobody's promised tomorrow. You never know what tomorrow will bring. They want to get it done. They want to do stuff. And I said, when you guys met, who was the traveler? And how is it you both, are like-minded in doing that? Because that was what was impressing me, was how they're both so passionate.
Using his line. Yeah, I am amazed at his declaration that nobody's promised tomorrow is some amazing line that he came up with. Nobody in the history of the world has ever said nobody's promised tomorrow before Sarasota Tim. You know?
About diving, traveling Asia, selling everything, living at the one of the relatives' place, and doing this. And then when that is done, they check off their bucket list, they got a long life to live, that they will likely mesh again in their minds and do the next season of their life. But I couldn't help from think about, dang, how lucky are people, especially young people like that have met somebody and one of them had an idea and the other one says, let's do it. And they want to do it. They want to do it together. Have you ever been with someone that was like a complete opposite of you, and yet you're with them? They don't like anything, or what they do.
Are you with anybody? I'm sorry. Is he? What? What is he talking about?
What you want to do is only a few things, versus hooking up with someone that is, all about being with you and doing the same things. Just think how exciting of a life that's going to be.
Yeah, it sounds like Tim is bitter that he's just never been loved. It sounds like Tim is bitter. That he was in an unhappy relationship previously. I'm sorry you haven't had a healthy relationship, my guy. I'm sorry.
Hoping to put this together in the next few months. They got their place for sale. They got a ton of equity in it. They're young, and they've done all the right things, and they want to do it now. I talk about doing it when you get to be 62 or sooner if you can. Just live your life, whatever it is.
Yeah, you turn 62, you better start collecting Social Security. Yes. That's what he would say. I don't know anything about collecting Social Security. I'm not here to give any financial advice. Don't listen to me.
I do. These people are in their 30s and they're going to do all this stuff. I asked him, I said, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are these people's jobs? I mean, Colin, that's a great question. To be in your 30s and able to just drop everything and go spend a long-term amount of time traveling Asia, you got some. Yeah, one of them's a nutritionist. That is true. He did say that. He did say one of them was a nutritionist. I think that's the other thing that Tim also doesn't consider, is that many people can't just drop everything to do this. Obviously it would be iconic to just be able to go travel and have no cares in the world. Unfortunately, most people are not in that position. And I feel like he approaches talking about collecting Social Security at 62 and stuff of a similar sort. That is the feedback people have for him, because he advises people to just leave their jobs when they might not actually be in a place to afford that. And just is oh, well then just get a side hustle. And it's you got kind of lucky that there's weirdo people on the internet that enjoy listening to what you have to say on YouTube. You're the exception, Sarasota Tim. So, anyways.
When when you get done with all that, what are you going to call home? Where's it going to be? And, it's just like, well, I think they got some pretty good connections with family that have multiple residences, winter homes and stuff.
Right. It sounds like they have an established plan. Sounds like they have an established, and by established plan, like maybe some intergenerational wealth.
And they're going to, do that. They don't know what they might be doing in 10 years, but they're not letting anything deter their idea of what they want to do now. And I just think that's so admirable. And no, they're not going to go out and squander all their money. You know how much it costs to go to Thailand, other than the airfare? It's cheap to go around there and do stuff. And the Philippines and things like that. And they're not talking about living there, but they're talking about staying 3 or 4 months or 30 or 60 days, something like that they were telling me. Quite a while.
So something like they were telling me. This also the bullshit is that he's out here saying, y'all go live your life, and he doesn't even know the details of what these people are doing with their lives. He's just spewing whatever is on his mind.
Starting with Thailand and going to the Philippines, and then they want to go to the Bahamas and do some diving and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there listening to this, and I'm thinking, man, I might want to do that, even if I have to go by myself.
Do it.
I just couldn't get over how...
You know what? Honestly, I take it back. It might be interesting to see stupid-ass Sarasota Tim try to navigate anywhere that isn't fucking Florida. I kind of would like to see it.
Well, these two people found each other. They're two very nice young people, level-headed, and doing very well. And so, God bless them. But, yeah, you don't have to wait.
God bless.
And if you just keep waiting, and, time runs out on you or your health starts deteriorating, then, you may have some regrets.
I agree to some extent, like, don't wait necessarily to, like, fulfill all of your life dreams, but also don't be stupid. Also, take into account that it sounds like these people are already rich from their family and or maybe whatever one of their jobs that's not the nutritionist does, but...
Crush your life and live your life now. That's what I do. I mean, what I can do. But this new idea, it just makes me think, man, I've been hearing about that all my life, the Philippines and stuff. I used to watch videos about it, talked about maybe living there, thought about it.
What new idea are you talking about? Also, I'm just really worried about him going to the Philippines, and there's like a real problem with like old white guys going to the Philippines. And I'm uncomfortable with the idea of him going there and doing that. I really am. I
thought, well, I can live there 6 months a year, or 4 or 5 months. I don't have to stay there just because I go there. I can just stay a while. Planes fly back and forth. There was a guy that used to watch the channel that lived in Mexico, and he was trying to build a YouTube channel on how you...
This is why I want to go back to my earlier statement, which is like, the good people of the Philippines do not need Sarasota Tim's ass there. They do not.
Live in Mexico and how cheap it was. And people hear about all the dangers of Mexico and different things. And while there's certainly dangers anywhere, even here, there's probably a lot of places in the country that are completely safe.
Well, yeah, when you don't listen to, like, propaganda. You fucking xenophobic asshole.
So... And then again, your idea of crushing it in life might be doing nothing.
My idea of crushing it in life is doing whatever Sarasota Tim is not doing.
But I'm not talking about, staying working forever. But it might be just cashing out. Maybe selling your McMansion and getting you a smaller place.
Just reading books,
planting a garden, meeting your neighbors, join some social clubs.
And you think I have a McMansion?
Just take it easy. Whatever it is. There's people doing something everywhere. There's people in Vegas right now pulling slot machines, right now. And there's somebody in Thailand sitting down having a nice meal for probably $3 or $4. So anyway, between the fact that we have so many distractions...
No, Jamie, because that's a good question. Why does he feel the need to lecture people about life? And who genuinely wants this crotchety old man's opinion and advice on what to do with life? Like...
Love my cream. I'll wheat.
He has a concerning look on his face. He has some torribling thought in his head about the Philippines, I can tell.
Torribling? DMC Tech, thanks so much for the 100 bits. I appreciate it.
That are distracting us from our life, of just thinking clearly, like to do what I just said, because you're so captivated with the TV, the phone, and whatever else it is, this noise, that you can't just sit still for a minute.
Also, does he realize people are regularly traveling the world? Like, people who can afford to do it are already regularly traveling the world and doing stuff. Does he realize that? Like, the folks that can afford it are already doing that, Diva. I'm just saying, like, rich people with money are already taking international trips to places that most people in America are not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that as somebody who only in like my older adult life like had the kind of money to be able to take trips, that once I did, like, yeah, I went to Vegas 4 times. Yeah, I went to Grand Cayman. It's what is so condescending about his lecturing is that people who can afford to do these things are already doing them, and anybody else who is listening to this, their viewpoint on it is, wow, I wish I could. I would love to fucking drop everything and go on a vacation. Are you kidding me? Condescending asshole.
You got to pick up that phone. Try it. I've tried it. It is hard. I mean, if you are a user of that, now a lot of people aren't. You know, they just use it for a talking thing or text every now and then. But what else are you looking at? Is it Fox News? Is it CNN? Is it something? Tic Tac?
It's not
Facebook.
Fox News.
All of these things, man. So,
I can
what would
tell
be a
you
good
that.
practice? Would it be to start purging ourselves from this technological, multi-billion-dollar platforms that are just owning us now, and that we can't operate like we used to? And here's another little thought I was thinking the other day.
While you're on the YouTube.com owned by Google. All right, sir. Are we talking about UFOs yet? We sure haven't. We sure haven't. And I should say, I do, speaking of nutritionists, I'm meeting with my dietitian in about 20 minutes. So if we don't get to the fucking aliens, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, I'll tag it onto this video. That this is kind of deep. So we're here for 60 or 80 years on average, right? And the Bible talks about you're but a mist that's here a few minutes and then disappear. And I thought, wow, we are the most intelligent creatures on the planet. We can build, think, communicate. We have feelings, love, way different than, consciousness than animals and insects. We are a special creation. So there has to be, first of all, a creator. And if that creator...
There doesn't have to be shit. I'm obsessed with that line of like logic and reasoning. I'm obsessed with that line of logic and reasoning, and I'm sure that really resonates for people who do practice Christianity and things like that. But it's just like, what?
Is so powerful that it can make, like an eyeball.
Like, I don't think that means there has to be some like godly creator that allowed for me to be a conscious like human. I don't know. There's that's your belief, but there's no logical reasoning in there necessarily. I'm pretty sure there are animals who are far smarter than us. Well, that's also the gag is like, I mean, I was even just recently talking to somebody about how smart octopi are and all the things that they can do. It's just like, of course this like carnivore loving idiot would be like, wow, animals are not like conscious, and animals are not like smart, blah 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 blah.
Of an eyeball, or how one cell can develop into a human. To only be here 60 or 80 years.
Well, also one cell can turn into pigs. One cell can turn into, like, like, I don't understand how that means there's a creator. The intricacies of animals are real. Am I missing the point? I will be honest. I was glanching a little bit. It's just like my brain was glanching listening to him talk about that. So maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed the point he was making.
And the Bible talks about a new heaven and a new earth one day. What if God is, this is like an apprenticeship right here.
Sorry if this is harsh, but people like this grind my gears. Your take is totally right, and it's always people who actually have no idea what they're talking about that think they're just saying something profound. I just finished my MA in philosophy, and I always avoid telling people because you end up getting a lecture like this from a random old guy. Sorry for the rant. Grace, no worries. Thanks so much for sharing that. Appreciate it.
This is just where you learn. This is the kindergarten world. They're talking about these UFOs and stuff that they're releasing footage of now. And that new Steven Spielberg, I think that's the guy, movie that came out this weekend.
My friend said that movie's trash. Don't go see it. My friend said Disclosure Day, trash. But I refuse to go watch it. I'm not going to go see that. I don't like alien movies.
And if you ask AI about it, there's no denying that.
I'm not going to ask AI about shit. God, all of this fucking bullshit conversation about how because of technology we can't just be at home, and you're fucking asking AI about aliens? Fuck off.
There is something. They don't know what it is. It doesn't say it knows what it is, but it just says it's undeniable that people are seeing these things. And so I started asking AI, like, what could it be? Do you believe it?
You're so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. He sat here and lectured us about not having our phones at dinner. And he's over here asking AI about fucking stupid ass aliens.
What is it? What's possible? And
he's sitting over here quoting the Bible. You know what wasn't in the Bible? AI. Jesus.
I started giving information like, well, I think that.
Oh my gosh, Spooky Queen Gaming. Thank you so much for 10 gifted subs. That's so generous. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Benevolent, because if they're that advanced that they can zoom in from light speed, it's probably not even manned. It's probably if they've got that kind of transportation thing. At that kind of speed, what kind of a living creature could survive that kind of G-force, right? But if they're just inspecting us or checking us out.
What do you know about the G-force?
So to speak. They're not looking to do any harm to us. They're wanting to see how infantile we are in our knowledge and our technology. And yet we've got enough technology to hear them and catch them on video sometimes. But would it be that impossible to think that if God created the earth and humans?
Wait, AI told you all this? AI told you all of this?
And everything here that there isn't in the vast billions of solar systems and planets out there, that there couldn't be, that God has another place, and maybe that's where we go rather than dying and then, being like a ghost floating around in the clouds in space somewhere.
You think when we die we go to another planet? You think that's what God does? He said Sarasota Tim died, let's send him to Mars. Like what? He's starting to sound real Mormon right about now. Is that a Mormon thing? As much as I know about Mormons, I sometimes get confused. Because I was going to say a Scientology thing, but now that you're saying that, I'm like, I think I have heard that that's a Mormon thing.
Oh, well, I never could understand really when I was a kid, what heaven was. Like you die and you go to heaven. Well, what is it? We just float around in space until one day?
It's fake is what it is, Diva.
Maybe we are on other planets and building. And
for me and my family, it's fine if you believe it's real, okay? Since I gotta clarify that, since there's always a Christian clutching their pearls.
And the Bible talks about there will be no marriage and you won't remember who you're married. Because that can be a lot of confusion, right? You got 2 or 3 ex-wives, ex-husbands, and you show up on planet heaven. So a lot of people don't want to hear that because of their loved ones or children or spouses and grandparents and things like that. But if it's going to be a place of happiness and healing and no pain and no suffering and no memory, hey, why are we only here if we're so special and everything?
Listen, things I wasn't anticipating was the alien talk to turn into fucking the Bible. Because the gag is the parts of me that believe that aliens are real are just related to like my understanding of space and like how vast the universe is, and how if it's probably not the case that we are the only planet in the entire galaxy and the entire universe that that has managed to have like living creatures on it. I was not anticipating this to be a conversation about how God probably has a heaven planet for us.
Take 20 years to become smart enough to walk and talk and drive our own cars. Not quite 20 years, but you know what I'm saying. And then 10 years to die, where we become feeble and start losing our mind and can't walk fast and we're just waiting to check out.
Someone tell Tim about Spec Evo.
I don't know what that is, and I don't know if I want to find out, Destroying Angel, but thank you for the bits.
And you've got this little window of life to do all the things that God says is possible if you seek Him first. Well, maybe, just maybe, you're to do what you can, and maybe He's got billions of other Earths. And you leave here, and depending on how much you accomplished, or you didn't quite, you're a hater. You died, but He's still got compassion on you. He's got grace, so He sends you to the next planet, giving you another chance. And maybe, you've gone through already 10 chances, and you just don't get it yet. You're not believing yet. You're not loving yet. And then...
Not grace. We're done giving people grace here. This is wild. This is not what I was anticipating. This actually doesn't sound like any form of Christianity that I've like. It feels like he's really branching out outside of like what probably most Christians believe about things.
Others that do a better job, because it does talk about rewards. He says, in my there'll be many mansions and many rewards for different people. The Bible talks about all this. So it's just interesting to me. I just started thinking about, well, we didn't do anything in Bible days except walk around and procreate, grow food, and eat, and die. They talked about living longer, but who knows? And then today, we've achieved all this technology and stuff, and we're still living the same amount of time. You're in and out of here like a fog, like a mist. There's got to be more to it. And if you believe in heaven and God, then maybe, we don't have to wait for everybody else to die or for Him to return here before we go somewhere that's somewhere else. This is deep, isn't it? Hey, it's just a video.
This ain't deep. This is... This is religious science fiction. This isn't even like my understanding of how fucking Christianity works.
I have to believe it. I don't even have to believe it. I'm just talking, but I'm just throwing things out there. I sure would like to know in the comments what you might think. This is not any kind of a deviation from biblical believing in God and all that, which is what I am.
It's also crazy. Again, I'm not a Bible expert, but like historically, I feel like just based on what I know about like other cultures, ancient cultures and things like that, like I would say historically the people of that lived at the time that the stories of the Bible are written about very likely did do more than just sit around and procreate. Like I'm sure they still had like things that were culturally important, like games they played, things they did when in community with each other. Like I just it just doesn't make no sense to me. Also, I wasn't anticipating this taking so long, so we absolutely probably are not going to finish this today.
But I'm just curious if maybe this all-powerful...
Which is maybe for the best, by the way.
God has something more for us when he's been around since the beginning for eons, and we have this little window. But then we're promised this life of eternity forever if we accept Jesus Christ. So it's a head scratcher. But I will say this for you in the
It's a
video.
head scratcher.
Because I'm going down that road. Down that, what do they always say? Going down that hole. What is the saying?
Diva, what do you know about going down that hole?
Rabbit hole. I've never said it in my life. That for those people that don't believe in God or Creator, you got this Big Bang Theory thing going on. AI says even a computer.
Girl, stop talking to AI. Fuck this man.
That things, a pile of bricks don't just turn into a house. If there was a Big Bang that created something and it created everything like it is, something had to create the bang. And when you ask them, they just say, we're not supposed to know, we don't know yet. They just keep kicking the can down the road because they want to put it back on you as a believer. You know, they want, like, show them to me. Well, look around.
Plenty of people who believe in God and the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, absolutely also true. There are ways for, like, God and science to interact. There's just some people who are insufferable. Also, great question, Colin. If there has to be somebody that created everything, then who created God? What created God? Like...
Love my cream all wheat.
Tim said, all this stuff I think about in the shower. I need to make a video on it.
No, for real, Jamie. For real. Thanks so much for the 100 bits. No, that's so real. Oh my god.
There's evidence everywhere. Think about the eyeball again. Think about your children. Think about how we're different than any other creature on this planet.
It's giving Insane Clown Posse Miracles How Do Magnets Work. Like, just look around. God is everywhere.
I mean, I don't want to have to prove it. I don't need to. I'm glad I believe. That's all I can tell you. But these people that don't believe, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. How can it? And they do. Because let the bullets start flying over their head. Let them be in a foxhole. They'll be crying out. Let them get cancer. They'll be crying out, oh God. Of course.
Wait, what?
I don't want to have to prove it. I don't need to. I'm glad I believe. That's all I can tell you. But these people that don't believe, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. How can it? And they do. Because let the bullets start flying over their head. Let them be in a foxhole. They'll be crying out.
Let the bullets fly over their head. Let them be. I don't want the bullets to be flying at anybody's head. And that is such a hateful fucking thing for you to say as a Christian. Let them get cancer is the next thing that he says. What kind of fucking Christian message is that, my guy? What kind of Christian message is it to say, let them get cancer and then see if they believe in God? That's crazy. Honestly, my time is up anyways, but I think I gotta stop there. Fuck that man. Alright, YouTubies, I'm sorry for the abrupt ending. I just really didn't realize, like, how long that was gonna be. So anyways, that's all I got for you right now, YouTubies. Bye, YouTubies! Subscribe!